We are wrapping up the 2022 Black Nomads Meet, Caravan, and Campout. I'm sitting here with Susan. Susan is a newbie. Susan, what did you think about this weekend?
It was excellent. I know prior to coming here, I had my fears and doubts not having camped out and not knowing anyone. And so family also still being not cultural, like not within our culture, people camp out are people of color, don't really go out to the nature and do stuff like that. It's like camping, bunch of strangers. Well, what's going on in society? You know, how about you just don't go? I'm like, well, how about I just do and see how it is? And I'm really glad I did. It turned out wonderful.
Awesome. How did you find out about it?
Well, I was really interested in the whole mobile living, whether it's caravanning, RV. I've seen people living in their cars. I even tried that a couple of days. It was a really bad situation because I was so newbie, like I had nothing prepared. And I was really hot and molted in the car. I tried in the winter, just blasted my AC and depleted my gas. I was like, this is too expensive. So it's all a bunch of trials and errors and trying different things. And I met a guy who goes to Dunkin's a lot, and I always see him there all the time. And I was like, hey, do you live in, and I asked, did he live in his car? I was like, hey, I'm interested in how people live in their cars. I was like, well, I live in my car. I was like, really? He told me all the ins and outs and how to use his shade blockers or whatever on his windows, and you know, just different, like how he has a gun and, you know, he stays protected and all that stuff. I was like, oh, that's very interesting. But he did that full time, and I guess it's circumstantial being in transition between states and trying to find some place to settle down, but he had no problem with it. But he was Caucasian, and I figured being Caucasian may be a little easier, being female, being Black, and having physically different religious appearance as well, making me look even more foreign. So it's like, wait a minute, I'm like an easy target. I stick out everywhere I go. So it was safety concern more than anything else besides the discomfort. So that I had a lot of deterrence because of it, but I'm still trying to learn more about it. So the more research I did and more interest in trying to see if Black people even did it, because I've seen a lot of white people doing it. So I'm like trying to see more people of color doing it, and that's how I came across Black Nomads. Like, there's a group meeting to it, a support group. I would love to join it, and that's what influenced me. I was like, oh God, I gotta be part of it. The last years I missed it, so I automatically signed up for this year's, and I've been waiting for months, and I was so glad when it finally came. So yeah.
Awesome. Do you have any advice for anyone who's interested in the nomadic lifestyle, or who may just be like looking, because this was a camp out as well as a nomadic meetup. So yeah. What advice would you have to those who aren't familiar with this and that may have, you know, want more information?
Well, I wish I had an advice because I haven't actually done it, but I can share some things I may have learned along the way. Location is very important if you were to try it, location is very important. Do not like camp out in places where you're literally by yourself. Hotels are great. These people say Walmart, but there's no 24 Walmart. If you go to 24-hour stores, like maybe restaurants that are 24 hours, some McDonald's are 24 hours, some Dunkin' Donuts are 24 hours, some gas stations are 24 hours. Just places where you can actually, truck stops are great as well. You can just try it for a day or a couple of days. What I want to do as a starter up is like going on vacations. I guess one of the biggest influences was the cost of going to places and getting a ticket, travel expenses, and then living expenses, looking at hotels and the hotel fee. You're like, okay, well, if I allocate all my money in a hotel, then what can I do outside of the hotel? You know, all the stuff you want to do once you're there. So it's like, wait a minute, if I will just stay in my car, then I can use my money to actually do things while I'm there, you know, activities. So like doing a seasonal thing, or do it during camping out during not holidays, but travels, you know, when you're traveling. And another advice would be to get into support groups, get into groups, people who do like Google it, get into Black Nomads Meet, where you can meet like-minded people who have been well-seasoned, experienced into it, ask them their experience, and you know, that support group really helps, you know. And also You know, try to look in your local area, try and see if there's any support groups there, or even YouTube. YouTube has been a phenomenal influence as well when it comes to doing it, because there's been a lot of discouraging moments. And when I see women actually out there, Black women doing it, it was very encouraging. So watching women doing it in YouTube, researching it, and getting into support groups, becoming part of things like this, and meeting like-minded people, seasoned people, that helps a lot.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Susan.
Absolutely.
Good luck on your journey.
Thank you. Hopefully I'll come back next year a little bit more seasoned.
Awesome. Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.